So this video is going to focus on some little experiments to go with your assignments to help you out a bit, and just a few more details to cover either the same information in more detail as a repeat, or add some detail to things we haven't covered yet. So one of the experiments I'd like you to try, okay, for fun, of course, is to take a plastic bag and put it on a plant. Okay, you technically could use your house plant, or you could go outside and make sure you take it off because the plant will probably die otherwise. Okay, but what you're seeing here is that transpiration is taking place. Okay, so just like how if you put a plastic, do this, okay, actually put a plastic bag on your skin for a little bit, like your arm. Okay, you'll notice that pretty quick, especially if you're outside, you really start to sweat, right? And you see that layer of water, okay, coming out of your pores. Not quite the same with plants, but they have pores too on the underside of their leaves called stomata, and those are opened and closed by the guard cells. So this picture here, that's about as much as I can zoom in, but so this would be the leaf flipped over on its back, right? So the top is for photosynthesis, has the mesophyll tissue with all the chloroplasts in it, and the chlorophyll, which is the pigment that is absorbing the sunlight. Okay, so that's going in and coming back out again. So carbon dioxide goes in, and water vapor and oxygen come out. That term for the water vapor exiting the leaf is transpiration. So that's what you're seeing on the bag. So water vapor itself, we can't see, that's like steam, right? So the water vapor then condenses on the bag. Okay, so that's condensation, right? So we have liquid to gas and gas to liquid again, right? This lovely lady, Mrs. Nancy, okay, she shows the experiment to us.
Did you know that plants sweat? Well, sort of. It's called transpiration. Check it out. Tie a plastic bag around a group of leaves and wait for 24 hours. After 24 hours, the bag will have water inside. This is because the surface of leaves are covered in tiny holes called stomata, which open and release water during transpiration, which is part of the water cycle. Now you know. Follow for more science videos.
Right, pretty neat. Okay. If you're interested in why leaves change color in fall, okay, you can look this one up on SciShow. There's amazing carnivorous plants, okay, and a few about root systems and plant basics. Okay, that's in the grade 7 page. Okay, so we're not really focusing on those because they don't totally fit in our curriculum, but science is just so interesting, okay, that you can look these up. So where do you find them? They are in the Science 7 page of the regular mrsbohaychuk.weebly.com. And so Science 7, plants, topic 2. Okay, so also part of this video, I'd like to show you some fun facts, I guess. So here's an activity you can do that's going to help all the plants, okay, is community cleanup. So walk around your neighborhood. I guarantee you will, this is my rubber boots, I guarantee you'll find lots of garbage, right? Plants can't grow if they're being blocked by garbage, okay? There's lots of COVID masks, okay? So don't pick those up with your bare hands, okay? Let's use tongs if your parents allow you to. These are my dedicated cleanup tongs now, and we'll go do that once in a while. Okay. As you're out and about in nature, have a look and see what you can find. Okay. One of the reasons I asked for you to grab a plant to look at was for you to look at the leaves. Okay. So on the back, this is your vascular tissue. Okay. A fun activity you can do as well is you put a leaf underneath a piece of paper and rub a crayon on it, and you can make a art piece, okay, using crayon rubbings. And you're looking at this thinking, oh, what's that little green thing? Okay, this is a bug. Okay, and that bug's adaptation is that it is able to camouflage itself on the leaf. It's going to be less likely to get eaten by a bird or different kinds of bugs when you can't see it. Okay, what do we got here? This is grass. Okay, why do you have the picture of grass? because I want to draw your attention to the fact that grass is a leaf. Okay, so if you take a look at this nice wide brome grass, you can see it more clearly than the little grass you might find on somebody's lawn. Okay, there's a stiff part on the side or sometimes in the middle. That's the stem. Okay, and on either side is the leaf. Okay, one of the reasons grass is so good at surviving and why we have so much of it in Calgary is because it is more drought resistant than plants like this. Okay, these big leaves are going to need a lot more water to survive. Okay, and grasses, they dry up, and when there's more moisture, they can regrow. Another great adaptation that grasses have is they can cut the leaves right off, right, and they can regrow no problem from the roots. The roots hang on to the soil really quite strongly. So when you have a herd of buffalo or cows, okay, that come by, they are going to eat the grass, but the plant doesn't die. Okay, you think about a tree. You chop the top of a tree off, it's dead. Okay, it can't regrow from its roots, but grasses can. Okay, these are wider leaves, right? They're going to be able to do more photosynthesis because they're more broad and they're going to be able to catch light better. But it takes a lot of water to keep those healthy and takes a lot of energy for the plant to grow them in the first place. Also in the spring, you're going to need to wait till the leaves actually grow before you can start doing any significant amounts of photosynthesis. Okay, there's some pretty flowers. Okay, we're not going to focus too much on flowers this year. Okay, with my students, I actually grabbed this stick and this piece of dandelion and this one, and I walked around with them and asked my students what they were. And the answer for this one was stick. Good, yes, it's a stick. Okay, what part of the plant is it? You answer in your head. Ready, go. Okay, what part of the plant is a stick? The branch. Yeah, very good. So if your choices are roots, leaves, stem, or flower, what part of a plant is it? Stem. Good job. Okay, so these branches are stem. They have cellulose, right? The tissue in this cell wall that helps them stay strong. Okay, this is a dandelion, and that's the flower. Okay, once it gets pollinated, all these little tiny thin pieces, those are the reproductive structures of the plant, and the yellow petals are to help attract pollinators. Okay, and you can try this at home. Like, definitely try this at home. So take a dandelion, a yellow one, put it in a glass, and just wait a couple of days, and you'll notice that the sepals close up, the green part will close up around the leaf or the flower, and then a couple days later it'll open up, and just like how a caterpillar will turn into a butterfly, you'll notice that this yellow part of the plant seems to turn into the fluffy white part. Okay, and if you pull off the edges of the white part, you'll see the little seed at the bottom. So the design of these fluffy things on the dandelion is to make sure that the little seeds move out. Okay, you don't want 30-year-olds living in your basement eating all your groceries. Okay, same things with plants, right? You want them to move away so they're not competing with you by falling in the ground right beside your own plant. Okay, so if they float away in the breeze, they're better able to find a new place to live and get their own sunlight, right? Get your own sandwich. Get their own sunlight and water, and they don't have to compete with the parent plant. Okay, so yeah, what did we have here? So I was walking around with the stem, the flower, the seeds. Okay, you can see the seeds better here. They're the little black lines. Okay, and this one I showed them. I said, what's this? And lots of kids said wheat. Okay, this isn't wheat. This is the seeds from grass. Okay, so I didn't grab any of the roots, but this is a leaf on a blade of grass, and they're pollinated by the wind. So lots of people actually are allergic to that. And in the spring, they say, oh, I'm allergic to grass, or I'm allergic to nature, right? And quite often it's because there's so much pollen from the grass in the air that they're allergic to that. Okay, and then the seeds are formed, and you can get new grass. Okay, and this was a nice broad leaf, okay, which we compared to the thinner stem, or the thinner leaf of a grass, blade of grass, and you have the vascular tissue. Okay, what's this? That, my friends, is a decomposer. Okay, this guy is a worm. And what worms do is they eat whatever they can find. Okay, leaves, mostly dead leaves, bits of plants that need to be broken down. And it goes through the digestive system. And what comes out is called worm casings, so worm poop. Okay, and it's extremely high in nutrients for plants. Okay, so if you have worms in your soil, you know that's healthy soil. Okay, and I find what some people do, the first thing they do in the spring is they clear away all the leaves. Well, now the soil's dry and there's nothing for the decomposers to eat. So I'm actually taken a different practice with my garden, and I purposely leave leaves. I purposely keep last year's leaves, or sometimes I even use grass clippings from the lawnmower, and I put them in the flower bed on purpose. Okay, and one thing that's kind of fun is if you lift up that layer of leaves with your hand, and quite often you'll see little bugs and the worms scurrying back into the soil, into the darkness, so they don't get eaten by birds. And it's nice, healthy, rich, moist soil underneath. Okay, so think twice about clearing away your leaves, right? It's maybe off your lawn, yeah, but you can put it in the flower bed, and that's actually a good idea. Okay, there's another worm, okay, chewing through this old plant material. Okay, back to the bug. Let's see if we have time to go through the pictures down here. There's a good one, right? Who led the Israelites through the semi-permeable membrane? Osmosis. Get it? Moses. Osmosis. Okay, semi-permeable membrane. Right, so this is what your experiment looks like. So you set up your experiment with a bunch of celery. I had quite a bit here. So you want to use the leaves on the inside of the clump of the celery and eat the rest because it's good for you. And you don't have to do quite so many. You definitely need one in clear water as your control variable. Okay, and you need at least one in a different color food coloring. Okay, I had 4. Because I had lots, but you're welcome to just do one, right? And then you can compare your results from your control and the one in food coloring. Okay, so what you should have by the time you're done, I'll get back to that in a second, okay, is something that looks like this. Okay, so my results in this experiment show that putting the celery leaves in green did a great job of absorbing up through the xylem tissue and actually helped it grow better. Okay, this red and purple, the plants weren't quite as healthy as this one and this one, right? I want you to think about why. Okay, think about what pigment you need to have for photosynthesis. Okay, is red and purple as good as green green colors? Not really. Okay, so going back to these pictures quick, this is just showing how certain kinds of plants actually could use a little bit of copper. So if you have pennies, they increase the turgor pressure of tulips. So tulips can get a little saggy, okay? And if you put a penny in the water, okay, they will stand right up. Do I have a stand-up picture? I don't have a stand-up picture. Okay, this is them all sad and lonesome. Okay, but you put a penny in and they hold up towards the sun better. Okay, here's another picture of some celery and food coloring. Okay, put it towards the light, it's a good idea. This picture is from the board. It shows what xylem tissues are. They take the nutrients from the roots and go up towards the leaves. And this is in your stem of a tree, right? And then the phloem tissue transports sugars produced in the leaves by photosynthesis down to the roots and the rest of the plant. Okay, so to help you remember which way it goes, I say xy high, flow low. Xy high, xylem goes up, phloem goes down, flow low. These are your different types of membranes. So in a permeable membrane, everything can go through. Impermeable, nothing can go through. And a selectively permeable membrane, only some particles can go through. Like when you make quick and craft dinner, the noodles stay in and the water goes out of the colander. That's all I have time for.